What's up, guys? It's Ricky, and I wanted to talk about people out here, the fans of Enigma that were now mocking Chris Network for making an apology on at Mukhuba's church. So I wanted to make a response video to this group of people. I've seen several responses or several comments that are along this line that just shows how little do people actually understand concerning this subject. And I wanted to talk about it here. And I want to highlight a couple of points. I want to answer to the people that are talking about disclaimers, making disclaimers as if the disclaimer will make it that whatever the person says on the platform is okay. So all those things. Why are they there? The supposed followers who are now mocking them and all that kind of jazz. Now you remember, I want to start with the people that are mocking. There's people that are mocking them, saying, "Oh, it's such a weak thing." Remember, they are mostly followers of Enigma who are saying Enigma didn't apologize, or Enigma was not there because he's strong in faith. So he's strong in faith, and so he didn't apologize. But now they're saying they apologize because they are weak in faith. Now, the reason why I wanted to address this point is that, Azalani, when we started this subject of this lawsuit, we mentioned points of why this lawsuit was a loss. And the problem with a lot of people is that they think a lawsuit, it's a street debate. And you see, we need to stop that mindset. You need to stop this mindset, but there's those arguments that are very ignorant of how much danger a person is putting themselves in harm's way, and they would rather remain ignorant of the harm. Which is what I hear in a lot of comments. I'm not talking about 80%, I'm talking about 90% of people that are Enigma followers that are completely ignorant of the fact that they lost the lawsuit. Okay, what does losing the lawsuit mean? Losing the lawsuit, there's something I've read a couple of times here. A disclaimer that comes after the accusation of defamation is made. There will be this note at the bottom that says the demands, and then it will say what the person must do. And there's always a statement that appears in most of either defamation cases or whatnot. And it is this statement: to our client's satisfaction, that people do not understand. You see, after you lose a case, whatever makes that other person happy, that's what you might have to do. It's not always the case. I'll give you a few case studies. Solomon Ashoms, he did a couple of posts, and those particular posts pissed off Alf Lukau. Alf Lukau sued him, and then he lost the lawsuit, right? When he lost the lawsuit, he was ordered to be in prison for a certain number of days, to the client's satisfaction, and then was instructed to pay the lawyer's fees. And the lawyer's fees was about 300 and something thousand. It's just the way it is. There is that statement to the client's satisfaction. Now, we're not saying who is right, who is what, where. We're saying if you lose the lawsuit, you are obligated. You don't choose. You don't get to choose. Or no, I'm not going to do this. Otherwise, that can land you into more trouble. So, let's reverse. Now that we understand that, I'm hoping. Because there's some people that just want to argue for the sake of argument. It doesn't help. You're not helping the conversation. These guys, they possibly had to render an apology one way or another. And I am guessing that a written apology was not all that was. If you look at how the statements were made, Chris apologized for interviewing. James apologized, representing the network, and then Ganda read the statement. So everybody was given a role to apologize for in the whole 9 Hajjahs, right? And so the written apology is there. They read it, and them being in the church. That's probably because they were asked to do that. They were told you have to do this particular apology in the church to restore thingy. Now, there was actually a point in the video where Chris tried to approach Mukhuba to shake her hand, and she just stood there, you know. For me, yeah, that was a very cold moment. That was a moment where it just sends chills down your spine, you know. Yes, the husband did come and then kind of like shook their hands and then escorted them out. And after Mukhuba just stood, when Chris was trying to shake her hand, the security guard then comes in between and then, you know, like points them a different direction. I don't think there was harm in them shaking a hand. I just don't. I don't think that was thingy. But hey, it is what it is. And so that particular point, Basalani, let's stop thinking strata, ne? Yeah. When you go to lawsuits, strata goes outside the window. You don't get to decide. So they were probably not given a choice in particularly doing that. Another thing that I saw very popular here was Chris should put a disclaimer every single time he does a video. It will not dismiss the lawsuit. Yes. A person can choose to sue the person who said it and you, or they can choose, like our sended. What am I saying? Our sended. What English is that? Our sent lawsuit papers for someone I interviewed, but the person who was named in the lawsuit was the person I interviewed. It wasn't me. Okay? They particularly sued this individual to say, you had this and you had this, you had this. Now, the lawsuit didn't go through because when the demands were thingy, the demands were met. And then it kind of subsided the whole situation. And so they can include you and they might not include you. Even if you say nothing, even if you don't comment, they can include you and they might not include you. Bishop T.D. Jakes tried to do that. If you watch my updates concerning Bishop T.D. Jakes' lawsuit, you will see a point where I mentioned that he tried to involve Larry Reid in the interview. I think on the 19th of February, that's when I made the episode. And so if you watch that episode, you will see he tried to involve Larry Reid in the whole lawsuit, but the judge declined that. And so putting a disclaimer, yes, to a certain extent. There was at one point was it Rosie Montana? I can't remember exactly the name of the lady who tried to sue McG for someone who came and said something. The lawsuit didn't go through, but McG was mentioned in the lawsuit thingy. But either ways, so saying that particular statement doesn't dismiss that you might have to still think. Now, another thing that I saw, people that are, these people that are saying they betrayed Enigma by going there. Hemuna, what did we just get through? We just explained strata. You thinking Katla strata is this, this is scarcity, Bazalani, please stop it. Okay, stop it. It's so backwards. It's very backwards. You will get people in trouble because you think like that. You think this is the street. You think this is Kokasi. When the people that were saying they didn't betray him, they are obligated. Now, my suspicions is, because remember, even after this is another particular thing that people were asking concerning whether this was done so that they don't have to pay. No, they still have to pay. Yeah. That's just part of the demands. The demands mostly is an apology and some type of thingy, because remember the people that have been transcribing for the lawyers or people that are transcribing for the judge, because remember the judge doesn't sit there with a video and interview. No, the judge reads the lawsuit. And so you have to transcribe it. I don't know if you have to pay the court. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Maybe it's only a high court. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that particular point. But I understand you have to pay the transcriber of the lawsuit so that the paperwork can be sent to the judge. The judge must have access to the paper, to the thingy, and then have time to read it so that they can familiarize themselves with the paperwork. Some judges will even go as far as kind of trying to limit the responses in between to say, don't let it pass so many pages. There's a right way of filing, there's a wrong way, right? And so this is not like some law that you make up in your head. God told me and then that's it. It doesn't work like that. When you get there, it must be filed. It must be transcribed. And then when it's transcribed, that person who's transcribing must be paid. The person who's thinking, the judge's time and all those kind of things. So, Bazalwane, please, ignorance is not going to help us. We help each other by understanding how these systems work. So they didn't betray him. They were obligated. Obligated. You understand what an obligation is, right? You're obligated to do it. If you don't do it, you might actually risk jail time. You would add. So which means you would have had to do an apology. Okay, you would have had to do an apology. You would serve jail time and still pay the lawyer's fees. So remember that particular statement to the client's satisfaction can vary. Some people want the apology in written format. Some people, they want you to make videos. They'll say you must apologize for this in this. You must apologize for this. They'll tell you specific things. That's why I mentioned Chris apologized for interviewing. Ganda read the statement. James apologized for the platform. Okay, we are clear, ne? So there was no betrayal. Once you lose the lawsuit, forget it. And now, Chris is obligated to pay about 200,000 or something, right? Now, that means that the other half might be on Enigma. I'm not sure. You have to ask them, right? I didn't ask that far because, I had asked him a little bit late on and stuff like that. And it was late. I bet he wanted to rest. So he still has to pay that amount. So for those people that were thinking, oh no, they are doing this apology so that they don't have to pay. No, they still have to pay. The demands after losing a lawsuit can get crazy. Be very clear about that. And you see, the thing that people are under this illusion that me fighting spirit. I saw people say, no, they had to apologize because they are not spiritually strong. That's a lot. I had to apologize because they are not spiritually strong. It has nothing to do with spiritually strong, brother. Forget it. Don't delude yourself and then think it's right. What you're saying is right. There's no such a thing. You are obligated to give an apology one way or another. They determine how. And if they ask the court to render them that particular apology to be rendered in that manner and you don't do it, they can go back to the court and say, hey, this person has not done it. And then at that point, what is it? Is it contempt of court or what? I don't know. Yeah. Not a lawyer. I'm just thinking. So the idea that they betrayed, no, they are not betraying thinking. It's at that point you are obligated to do so. So let's stop that idea as well. Guys, so you guys pumped them up when they were doing the videos. Now the very people that were pumping them up are now the very same people that want to tear them down. Cowards. Hey, cowards. You told them to stand strong and fight on at a losing battle. I have a video on this channel where I'm saying this is a losing battle. And the very same people that I'm talking about who made videos saying, Ricky is just against. Go back watch what they were saying when I made that video. I said, y'all are gonna lose before this lawsuit got this bad. You were there. Hey, now the very same people are attacking them. They are cowards now. You people are ruthless. You people are ruthless. Now that tells you another thing again. Do you think those people are going to go over there and donate? Think about it. No, think about it. Think about it. Do you think they're going to go do that? They're the same people. Chris deleted the video first. And when he deleted the video, I was like, yeah, that's good. That's a good move. And then they made another video. And then people were saying, yes, yes, yes. You people get people in trouble. And so as a podcaster, be very careful of the type of an audience that you have around you, because these audiences can get very crazy. They can say things ill-informed. Now they must pay 200,000. Do you think are they going to donate? No. People will tell you that no, they have January phobia. You know, January phobia. They don't have money. What? I said, this is serious. Okay, the very people that were propping them up, you are now the same people that are now trying to tear them down. They are cowards. They are not cowards. They thought you had their back. Thought you had their back. Now they are traitors. Now they are weak. They are spiritually weak. See the type of audience this was. They're wrong. You are wrong. People are wrong. Very same people. No, you see, I saw someone saying, no, if they were born again, this has nothing to do with being born again. The lawsuit was a loss. But you made them think, yeah, no, Jesus was going to come through. I said, there's no Jesus anyway there. Was that biblical judgment? Was that righteous judgment that you gave? So, Barcelona, stop it. There's a lot of people out here on social media that are saying things that are they just don't make sense by what the legal standards are. They didn't betray Enigma, they were obligated to do so. They still have to pay Pastor Mukhuba. And the very same people that were propping them and making noise and saying, yes, we are champion, we must stand brave, we must what, now are the very same people that are attacking them. The internet is a very sad place. The internet, very, very sad place. Very, very sad place. It's Ricky, I'm done. So before I go, I want to just say, just let's be very clear, let's encourage each other towards the right things. If people are saying, let's engage, let's communicate, let's talk, do that. When you dismiss, when everybody just becomes dismiss, right? When we were questioning, they were saying, no, dismiss everything, just shut up. We kept quiet. When the lawsuit now come, now y'all are not there anymore. No, they are cowards. They are not spiritual. They are not spiritually mature. They must be. Aibo, what happened now? Now, you've benefited what you've benefited, right? You've benefited what you've benefited. Now, they are spiritually weak. She's you, that one. That's you now. They're just not born again. If they were born again, they would be strong. It's Elena. This fictional Christianity of yours, you will backslide. I'm telling you. You will backslide because the grace you will not communicate to others, it tells me you don't have it yourself. You do not have it. They stood there giving you the content that you were asking for. Now they are cowards. They're not cowards. They're keeping up so that they can try and get back and you just sort this thing out and go back to their work. It's the Reality Show Daily Christian Commentary videos. We're done here.